Are you ready to dive into a world beyond the bounds of knowledge? In this journey, we're unraveling amazing facts and interesting history pieces so astonishing you'll be left saying, I had no idea. Stay tuned as we explore interesting facts you had no idea existed. Ever thought about what it's like inside a cow's mouth? I mean, it's not exactly on everyone's bucket list, right? Well, let me drop a fact I had no idea about until recently. Cows don't have any top front teeth. Yep, you heard that right. Where you'd expect teeth, there's just this tough pad. Think of it as nature's built-in grass blender, prepping all that green for the real chewing action in the back with the molars. Now, isn't that something beyond the bounds of knowledge? Ever wondered about the heavyweight champs in the animal kingdom? Let's talk teeth. Elephant teeth to be exact. Guess what? An elephant tooth can tip the scales at a whopping 9 pounds. Just imagine, that's like a newborn baby in your mouth. Makes our tiny 2.28 gram human teeth seem kind of, well, adorable, right? Now think about this. If you needed a root canal on an elephant tooth, what do you think you'd need? A regular dentist's drill, or something a bit more heavy duty? You think elephants are huge? Wait till you hear about the blue whale. These giants are not just the biggest in the ocean, but the largest animals on the planet. Get this, they're so enormous that a small kid could actually crawl through some of their arteries. Imagine that. Their aorta, the main heart artery, is a whopping 9 inches wide. Now look down at your wrist. See those tiny veins? Pretty wild comparison, right? So sticking with our theme of big animals, get this. Penguins used to be giants. That's right. Imagine a penguin taller than you and me. There was this extinct kind called the Colossus penguin around 37 million years ago. These guys were a whopping 7 feet tall. Now, the emperor penguin, the tallest we have today, only hits just over 4 feet. It's wild, right? I mean, as much as I love animals, the thought of a 7-foot penguin is kind of spooky, don't you think? But hey, do you think you would have liked to see one of these giant penguins in real life? Let me know in the comments. Hey, have you ever thought about who's been hanging around our planet the longest? It's sharks. Yeah, these ocean legends are way older than you think. I had no idea, but sharks have been cruising the seas since before trees were even a thing. We're talking about a staggering 450 million years ago. That's right, these guys were around way before those leafy giants we chill under at the park. And get this, trees only started sprouting up about 380 million years ago. Sharks are like the cool old-timers of our planet. Did you know that trees have a secret past that's beyond the bounds of knowledge? Think about this, trees are actually older than rot itself. Yeah, you heard that right. Around 300 million years ago, things were pretty different. There weren't any organisms around to decompose wood. So, what happened when trees died back then? They didn't just disappear. Instead, they lay there on the ground, getting squished into the earth over millions of years. And guess what this process created? Coal. Now, think about this. Why is coal a non-renewable resource today? It's all because, after that period, trees started to rot normally, meaning they couldn't turn into coal anymore. Most of the coal we use today was formed in that crazy decay-less era. It's an interesting history fact, right? Get this, coal isn't the only treasure hiding beneath our feet. Our very own planet is a gold mine. Literally. Did you know that a whopping 99% of the gold atoms on Earth are chilling in the Earth's core? That's right, I had no idea either. This gold got sucked in when the Earth was just a big ball of molten magma. But here's the kicker. There's so much gold down there, we could cover the entire surface of the Earth with 1.5 feet of it. Can you picture it? The whole world knee-deep in gold. Now, wouldn't that be a sight for any passing aliens? Alright, let's shift gears and talk about something that'll blow your mind. You think we're far removed from dinosaurs, right? Well, get this. We're actually closer in time to the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex than the T-Rex was to the Stegosaurus. Crazy, huh? Just 65 million years separate us from those giant lizards, while a whopping 83 million years lay between the T-Rex and Stegosaurus. Talk about feeling a bit more recent in the grand scheme of things. And here's something to ponder. If dinosaurs had such a vast timeline, what other incredible stories might Earth's history hold? Hey, get this. You know those trilobites? The ancient marine critters? They're not just old, they're super old. We're talking way before dinosaurs even thought of showing up. By the time T-Rex and friends arrived, trilobites were already history, turned into fossils. Kinda blows your mind, right? And here's the kicker about us humans. We've been around for just a blink in Earth's timeline, around 300,000 years. Most of us will live to about 77 years. Now, doesn't that make you feel a bit, well, small in this vast universe? Okay, imagine if you squeezed out all the empty space in our atoms. We'd shrink down to a dust particle size. That's right, each of us. Even crazier, the whole human race could fit into something as small as a sugar cube. Think about that the next time you're cramped on a subway. We could all be packed even tighter. Imagine this. Cars that can zoom straight up into the sky. How long do you think it'd take to hit outer space? Surprisingly, not as long as you'd think. Space is just about 60 miles up, so at a steady 60 miles per hour, you're spacebound in just an hour. That's right, only 60 minutes to leave Earth's atmosphere. Think about it. That's way quicker than a plane trip from LA to New York, which takes over 5 hours, even at 500 miles per hour. Makes a space vacation seem pretty doable, huh? Now that's amazing how these facts and details twist our expectations. Talking of expectations, before we move on, we totally expect you to hit the subscribe button before we move on to our next mind-blowing fact. Alright, let's zoom back to Earth for a sec. You won't believe this, but in Russia, the rich are playing a whole different ballgame. Picture this. They're cruising through traffic jams in, what? Fake ambulances. That's right. In Moscow, if you've got the cash, you can zip through the streets in an ambulance taxi. Insiders spill the beans on this one. These flashy rides go for $200 an hour. Crazy, right? It's totally against the rules, maybe even a bit sneaky. But hey, who's going to pull over an ambulance? Especially if it looks like it's rushing to an emergency. Now, think about it. What would you do if you saw one of these high-speed ambulances? Would you ever guess there's a millionaire inside instead of a patient? Alright, leaving the world of the super rich and their dramas behind, let's jet off to Japan. Here, we stumble upon something truly unique. The Naki Sumo Crying Baby Festival. Imagine this. Sumo wrestlers, those giant icons of strength, gently cradling babies. But wait, there's a twist. Their mission? To make these little ones cry. It's a 400-year-old tradition, believe it or not. Now, you might be thinking, why make babies cry? Here's the fascinating part. According to a tradition, a baby's cries are powerful. They're believed to scare away evil spirits and demons, ensuring the child grows up healthy and strong. Sounds like an interesting history lesson, right? But how do these sumo wrestlers actually make the babies cry? And what happens if a baby doesn't cry? Something to think about. Guess what? You might not believe this, but did you know Abraham Lincoln was kind of a wrestling champ before he was president? Yeah, you heard it right. Not like today's WWE superstars, but he was seriously good in the ring. Over 12 years, Lincoln racked up more than 300 wins and lost just once. Pretty wild, right? Imagine a president who could not only pass major laws, but also throw down in a wrestling match. That's a leader with some serious skills. So what do you think? Could Lincoln have held his own in today's wrestling world? Let's keep diving into these amazing facts and uncover more interesting history you probably had no idea about. Can you picture the head of the Catholic Church working as a bouncer? Yep, Pope Francis, before becoming a world-renowned spiritual leader, had a life I had no idea about. Back in Argentina, this now 86-year-old was checking IDs and breaking up bar fights. Imagine that. From nightclub doors to the Vatican's doors. It's a bit of an interesting story that shows how everyone has a unique journey. So, what do you think he would say to a rowdy partygoer? It's a classic case of facts and details that are beyond the bounds of knowledge, showing us there's always more to someone than meets the eye. And that's a wrap. Remember, the world is full of surprises, and who knows what amazing fact you'll discover next. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious, and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content just like this.